Hey, this is Brenda. I work at a U.S. Army Corps of Engineers park in West Texas, and today I want to take you on my rounds. Every time I work, twice a day, I get to go on rounds, which is so much fun, and I do it on my bike. Today is not a work day because I'm not allowed to film when I'm working, but I'm going to go around the park and I'm taking all my dogs and cats, and so we're going to go on a nice long bike ride and you can see the whole park. One reason I want the cats to be able to get out of the house today is that we've had a stray cat living outside of my RV for about a month. And I was trying to balance it, the stray cat outside and my indoor cats inside, and hopefully they would get along. I usually let my indoor cats outside, 15-20 minutes a night just to kind of smell around and do, just be outside for a minute and then they come back in. Well, with the stray cat out there, it's just turned into an incredibly stressful event at night. I don't even let them out anymore because they actually got into a fight with the cat. I mean, they're territorial, I know that, but I was just hoping it would all work out. Anyway, I'm in a quandary. I don't know what to do. I have this cat outside that I love, and I've only known him a month, but in my indoor cats I've had for 8 years. Obviously, I love them and want them to be happy. So I do know who the cat belongs to. It belongs to the lady who used to live in this spot, but she retired and moved to Washington State. So they are not going to come back for the stray cat, and I don't know what to do with them. I'm still feeding him. I moved his little house that I set up further away from my front door, hoping that would help. I don't think it really has. But anyway, today is going to be a nice peaceful time for my cats to get out of the house. Alright, we're heading into our first loop here. These are sites 37 through 42. And if you ever want to camper, 37 has the best shade and 41 has the best view. Anyway, as we go around, you'll be able to see them. There's huge spaces for RVs in this park. And they're all right next to the water, which is really nice. I don't have the right kind of camera for this video, so you're going to see some bouncing and jiggling. When the road gets rough, the camera bounces. So I hope you don't mind that. There's 41. You can tell what I meant by the view. It's a view right onto the lake. So pretty. It's usually booked. By the way, this is Coppers Creek Park in Comanche, Texas. The other thing about this video is the whole video is backwards because I had my camera facing like if you're going to take a selfie, videoing in that way, so the whole thing is backwards. So I hope you can bear with that too. This is what we call a group site, It has room for several RVs. I think this particular one has room for 6 RVs, and there's a huge area with lots of picnic tables, and you can rent it for like $100 a night for a party or for a family get-together. Really fun. We're heading into one of my favorite loops here. These are sites 43 through 56. 56 is at the end of this peninsula, and it's completely surrounded by water. It's so pretty. It's my favorite site. Not a lot of shade, but oh, the view is so pretty. We also have a couple of resident geese that live down at 56. Sometimes they walk around, but they're generally at 56. They're very talkative. I think they're tame geese that somebody released into the park, and they're a bonded pair, so they're always together, but they're pretty funny. This is 56 right here. As I do the turnabout, that's the little cul-de-sac at the end. There's a white car sitting there at the end of the cul-de-sac. You can't see the geese in this one, darn it. Okay, we're heading down the boat ramp. I always love to go down the boat ramp. There's always boats in the water. And I'm going to head down and then come back up where you take the boats out of the water. I wish you could see one being unloaded, but anyway, you can see all the boat trailers there, and this is where everybody gets into the lake. We have kayaks, jet skis, and boats. Those are the main things that we see. Alright, we're heading into the last loop on this little tour. It's number 57 through 66. This green RV right here is often here at the park, and so I've gotten to know them, and they're really a nice family. Love to see them here. We have a lot of locals that come here. What some people even do is they continue to go to work, but just come here in the evening instead of going home. So they'll bring their RV out here, park it, go to work in the morning, come home in the afternoon, and get to be here for a week or two just to sort of have a work vacation. And a lot of locals do that. Okay, these sites up here are where we usually see the larger motorhomes because they have full hookup up here in these sites. Just this last week, we had this group of people. They had 4 campers, so it's 4 couples that get together several times a year and go camping for like a week. So there's 8 of them, and they all, sit around and chat and eat together. It's so much fun. I mean, it looks like so much fun. And it's so nice to see that they have all those happy relationships. Living in a park like this, it's just mostly 90% fun. That's what I would say. In a very, very rare instance, you might have someone fighting or something, but That's only really happened to me once in a couple of years, maybe twice in a couple of years. Mostly it's just people having fun. And I love that idea that those couples, they're 4 couples, and they go camping several times a year, together. Isn't that nice? As you can imagine, going on rounds really makes my work days so much nicer. When you get to go outside and ride your bike for 20 or 30 minutes in the middle of a work day, it just resets your whole perspective. It's so pretty outside. And even if it's not, the weather is fun. If it's really windy or if it's really cold or really hot, whatever it is, it's just refreshing to get outside and ride around for a few minutes. And I get to do that every time I work. But I did not do it on the snow days, I have to admit. I took my car. We are about to leave the camping section of this park and go over to see the day use section. It's called day use. It's for people who just want to come in for the day and have a picnic or launch their boat or whatever. It's actually a different section to the park here. You have to actually go out to the street, drive down the street, and go to a different place to go to the day use section. In most parks, I think camping and day use are in the same area, but here it's just down the road. It's not far, so we're going to go out and look at that. We're back to the front of the park, and that's my house right there. You can see it. And right across from it is the gatehouse. So that's my commute. It takes about 30 seconds to walk from my house to the gatehouse. Today, the other gate attendant is working because I'm off today. And she's great. I'm so lucky to have such a nice person to work with. And we're about to go out on the road and go down to the day use section. Across the street there are a couple of little RV parks, and I'm trying to catch those in my picture. This one right across the street only has about 4 or 5 spots, and then there's one down the road that it's a full RV park. I would say it has 50 or 60 spots. Okay, you're about to see just how hard it is to start up the bike after I hit a stop sign. It is an electric bike, so I don't get too much credit, but starting it up, pedaling it is pretty rough, and you're going to see that. You're going to see that camera go back and forth as I'm trying to pedal to get started. Now we're on the road to head to the day use area. As we turn the corner here, you're going to get a good view of the Proctor Lake office. This is the office where all the rangers work. Proctor Lake has 3 parks on it, and the rangers, are responsible for all 3 parks. Oh no, we came to another stop sign. And you know what that means. You're going to watch the camera go back and forth as I pedal to start the bike up again. As I was coming up to the gate to the day use area, I saw a couple that has been staying across the street from us. They come in the park pretty regularly and ride their bikes around. They've only been here about a week, but it's nice to see them. This little keypad here is where you key in the code to get in the day use area of the park, and you're going to see the gate open up ahead. Those canopies that you see on the right are the picnic area. Each one has a big table underneath it. I think it's pretty incredible that anybody can come here. It's $5 to get into all 3 parks for the whole day, and you can go anywhere in the parks. And like just this day use area has picnicking, swimming, boating, fishing, and bike riding and all that. So It's just it's an amazing deal. I mean, it's a great way to spend the day, and you do feel so much better after you come out here. You just feel refreshed. I think it's incredible that all these parks are available to everybody. You know, up until I was retired, I never actually went to any of these parks. So I'm just always marveling over what an amazing thing it is that the government has set up all these places for people to come. We also have the America the Beautiful passes, and they're passes for all the federal parks. So that includes like U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, National Park Service, Bureau of Land Management, National Forestry Service, all the federal parks. And these America the Beautiful passes, get you into any of those parks for free. And you get even camping discounts in some places. Like here, it's half off camping if you have the senior pass or the access pass. And there's also a lifetime military pass for all veterans, which is awesome. You get into all these parks for the rest of your life for free. Of course, veterans have totally earned it, and I always thank people for their service when they get a veterans pass because they deserve it. The black thing up ahead is the dam. This is the dam that makes Proctor Lake. I think it dams up the Leon River, and it created Proctor Lake. I don't have access to walk on the dam or look underneath the dam or anything. I wish I did. I'm so interested in how it works and all that, but as a gate attendant, I can't see it, but the rangers can see it, and sometimes they tell me about it. Very interesting how it works, how it lets in water, however much water they need to keep the lake at the correct level, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Here we have another boat ramp. There is actually a guy loading his boat into the water here, but I couldn't get it on the camera. What you're not going to see on this tour is half of the camping area. We close off half the camping area for winter. It's closed from October 1st to April 1st. So it's going to be open on April 1st. It's sites 1 through 36. It's very similar to the sites that I showed you. And yeah, it's very similar, but it's twice as many sites. So coming April 1st, we're going to have a lot more people here. When I say that I haven't been to any of these parks until after I retired, I mean these little local parks around lakes like this. I've missed them. I did go to national parks. I'm a big fan of national parks. I go anytime I get a chance, and that's one of the big reasons that I wanted to move into an RV when I retired and travel because I just love those national parks. My dream would be like maybe to be a docent at Carlsbad Caverns or the Grand Canyon or something. I would love that. When you look at where I live, you might think it's kind of solitary. And it's true, when you move to a new park, it is solitary because you don't know anyone yet. But I'm an introvert and I don't need a lot of social interaction. And I find that the social interaction I have is plenty. First of all, I get to know the customers, the campers, and because they're locals, a lot of them come back often, and so I get to know them. The most important thing probably is the person you work with, and I work with Lori, who's the most lovely person, and really talking to her is a awesome treat every time I get to talk to her. The other thing that happened was I got invited to a ladies' Bible study when I was out eating one day. They were all eating at the next table and they invited me. So I go to a ladies' Bible study now every Tuesday. And that's plenty. That's plenty of socialization for me. It's enough. I mean, they're lovely. And I've actually learned a lot from them and love being with them. So that's on Tuesdays. And the rest of the time I live alone with my dogs and cats, which I love. And I'm in a beautiful environment, which really has soothed my soul after working in a corporate, environment. So, yeah, I really don't feel lonely at all. There's also the rangers around. They're very nice. And the maintenance guys are great. So they're just around the parks, periodically, and they're all really, really nice. So after you've been in one of these parks for a couple of months, you get to know everybody. And very fortunately at this park right now, everyone here is really, really nice. When I came to the park, there was someone who was mean to me. I guess that happens anywhere you go. She did move, so she's not here anymore. And so now I'm just surrounded by really nice people, which is great. The stray cat that I was telling you about at the beginning of the video, the people who lived here did not just leave the cat. What happened was the cat ran away as they were moving. It got scared, I think, because they were moving, and cats sense that. He's an orange cat, and, they have a mind of their own. They were devastated, and they had to move because they had to retire and move to their new home. So they had to leave, even though they didn't know where he was. So they were devastated. That was 9 months ago. The cat is fine. I don't know what he did for 9 months, but he survived just fine. I think he eats mice and other things in the woods, but yeah, he looks great. The sad thing is that my cat, who is also an orange cat, ran away at the same time because I moved here and he didn't like it that I moved. So he ran away. So I was, grieving that for 6 months. And maybe that's also why I'm having such a hard time with this cat, because I think of my cat and where he went, after he left here, and if people were feeding him and all that. So yeah, that's the nature of the game. Some cats like to be indoors. My black and white cats are indoor cats by design. They like it that way. If they get out, they look to come back in. That's what they want. And when we travel, they immediately go back to the bedroom and hide. They don't want to be outside if we're traveling. They want to be inside. So they're much more well adjusted to an RV lifestyle. Here we are back home. Everybody seems to have done well. I've got Petunia, who is 16, in the backpack, in the pink backpack. And then in the trailer, there's Cosette, my little terrier. And then there's my two black and white cats, Cosmo and Buttercup. And I think they look like they've all done well. I think an interesting video would be to point the camera at them while I'm doing the bike ride. That'll be the next thing I do. That would be funny, just to see what they're doing back there, because I can't see them when I'm riding. All right, thank you for watching. Have a great day, everybody.